Change of tack. Will Australia follow France, the UK and Canada in moving closer to recognising Palestine?
Well, I think the completely unconscionable scenes of starvation of children that we've been seeing on our screens has really driven this, just as the unconscionable acts of Hamas outraged the civilised world. And I think now it's an opportunity for forward-thinking governments around the world to say, well, how do we lay the groundwork for what was looking like a pretty good option back in the 1990s when Bill Clinton was the president and going towards this two-state solution between Palestine and Israel. All that's been set back horribly as a result of Hamas's attack on Israel in October last year and by Israel's response. But if you really are serious about dealing with these things in the longer term, you have to start thinking about, well, how do we get through the impasse that we have now? How do we start resetting it all in a way that would allow, with goodwill on both sides, somewhere down the line for an independent Palestinian state to be established?
The PM heads to the UN General Assembly in New York in September. The Middle East obviously is going to be front and centre there.
Well, it is. And, we're seeing all sorts of things happening which aren't necessarily getting a lot of news. And recently in New York at the UN, the Arab states called on Hamas to lay down their arms and to release the hostages back to Israel that they still hold. So things are happening there which have the potential to start to at least take the pressure off the horrible events which we're witnessing on a daily basis in Gaza. And Anthony Albanese will want to be part of the solution to those terrible problems. So I think we'll see something there.
Inflation numbers during the week, back home, looking at that, they'd have to do an interest rate cut now, wouldn't they? Peter McGorran was in your chair about an hour or so ago and he said 100%. I was not that confident after what we've seen.
Well, Peter's a pretty wise man. I'd put it at 99.9, but you never quite know with these things. And I think it was probably exacerbated last night when the stock market in the US dropped dramatically with bad employment numbers coming out and an adverse reaction to the tariffs still. So I think the fact that there is pressure on employment in the United States is also going to mean that Australia is really going to have to start moving to ensure that their interest rates are lower to accommodate any flow-on effects from that if there is a more further softening of the job market here as a result of all the ridiculous stuff that's happening in the United States.
Yeah, it's where to turn the news cycle. It's
crazy.
One after the other. It's hard to latch on.
Yeah, exactly. And and I think the reason why the RBA probably were slow last time to act in July was because of the way in which inflation is potentially on the cards again in the United States with tariffs. I mean, everyone's going around saying, aren't we lucky? We only got a 10% hit. A 10% hit is a big number.
Particularly when you got a free trade agreement.
Yeah, and we're all thinking, aren't we lucky? We're not lucky at all.
Yeah, it's interesting. Good to see you.
Thanks, man.